Welcome back to RCH Builders. So today what we're going to be showing in this video is the French door build and installation. You can purchase from just a standard box store and probably most door companies a 4-foot double French door, but all of them will have grid patterns in them, and this homeowner was wanting to do one with clear glass so they could see straight through with no grids in the way. So for that I had to buy separate slabs and the door jambs kit, and we had to build the whole setup and install it. We could have special ordered them, which technically I did along with all of the other doors, but they couldn't get them to us in time, so instead I had to build them ourselves. So we're simply having to router all the different hinges, 2 doors because it's a French door, and then there's of course 2 jambs. We have to do both of those, and once we get those done, what we're going to do is we'll take out the window, that double window that goes into the house existing now, and we will be putting the doors in that location. So we've got this, I believe, is the last video that we have of any work done on this job. The only other things that was left was just a few little minor things that was missed, like finishing trim just a little bit up to the cabinets. It's the same thing. We did the same little 1x6 that you can see behind me right now in the hallway right there. We just did it from the 1x6 coming down over to the cabinet right there, right behind the trash can area. So it's just some minor stuff like that. I think putting the sink in, I do think that one was not caught on video either, but that is actually already in at the time of this video. Also, we fixed the hearth, the stone on the hearth, where I had talked about that. So I will probably try to get a final video where it just shows everything completed and done with all of their setup and how they've got it. They got some string lights in there hanging from the beams and stuff like that. So, but we've got the new series that will be starting very soon. We've got quite a few videos from that. It's the large 2-story edition. We might be starting that next week, or possibly the week after. Just depends on when I can get back to get a final video on this right here. So we'll just see how that goes. But so we're taking the window out now, and once we remove that, we have to cut out the bottom plate for the sill of the old window. The way that this house was framed originally, when they did this little part of addition, they actually have a solid header that goes all the way across all the windows. So these are actual jack studs. There's a solid header above. We didn't have to replace a king stud or nothing when we did it. Instead, we simply had to extend the jack studs below the sill all the way to the floor because of the way that they did that. But simply making the opening just a little bigger than it was. It was just a hair small for the doors, but we just took one 2x4 out, and then we ended up putting in a 1x to fill the space because it was only like, I think, a 1/2 inch too small. Tried to keep cleaning a little bit, sweeping up and stuff in between while we were doing stuff, because this was the part of the actual main house where they were living at. So it was a little bit more, careful on how much mess we made. That's right here is where I'm removing that 2x4, and then we'll just replace it with a 1x. But I think we've got one more video right now that we've got for our investment home that will be putting up, I think, this Saturday, hopefully. And after that, I'm not sure when the next time is that we would be able to get down to that home to do the next process there, which it would be replacing just a little bit more of the rotted sill plate. There's not a lot left. There's just one little corner and across where the door is, but we'll be replacing that on the next time we do get down there. But at this point, with where we're at on the large 2-story addition, I'm not sure when that will be. We finally got to be able to do concrete. We've been messing with the weather, both it being cold and it being wet. The two things have not really worked with us, but that gave us some time to be able to get those videos in, but also means that now we have to get back over there when we can and work on that job, because that one is an actual job we're getting that's bringing in the money to where hopefully we can continue to do our own investment home. But the investment home is simply a more of a filler. It's a little bit just helps try to get where I would like to be eventually someday. But this right here, that was just a piece of Tongue&Groove ceiling and what we used on the walls as well, that I cut the bottom portion of the groove off so that it would create a nice little bevel down. It was actually a perfect fit that allowed it to set on and bevel down to the concrete with just the slightest little bit of gap that we could then fill with a little bit of caulking to allow some flex to make sure that when you walk on it, it wouldn't crack. So it was actually, it fit real well. We just did that and then ripped it down to size and put it in there, create a really good, nice threshold. So now we're just putting the pieces together and about to slide it in and start shimming it. The shimming process does take a little while. It's a of course on video here most of this is sped up about 4 to 8 times depending on the section of the video, but it's sped up a good bit. But getting the doors, especially when you have a double door like this, it is very important to make sure that everything is square and level from one side to the other, or it will become very obvious and it will make it so that just latches don't work correctly and doorknobs don't seat. So it took a little bit of time just setting them through there and shimming them up and then putting screws in there just to get everything just right. But as far as that other house down there, the investment home, not really sure when we'll be able to make it back down there. It may be quite some time, but we'll see what I can do about other videos as well. I might actually do a video trying to explain a little bit about the reason why it is still cheaper to fix that house versus doing a rebuild. Do get that question a lot. Also, I get that question a lot of times when people are asking me about coming and building or doing some work for them on their home. A lot of times it's a good question. Someone actually had left, which is requires more explanation than what can be done in a quick text. But as far as when it is too far to be able to save a home. And I will say, as far as that goes, newer homes, like ones that have been built in the last few years with the way that people build those, they would probably be a lot harder to save than an older home. But simply drilling the holes, putting in the little spots right there for the astragal to be able to close. And then this is the little strip. It basically has to be cut down, and then it just hides all the little screw holes and everything from that astragal. And all that does, it basically, it just holds that door in place unless you want to open it. So the other door is the main door that everyone will use. But we're just getting that all set up and put in place, and the door should be almost done. So hope you all enjoyed watching today, and we'll see you the next time.